Hello, YouTube and NewsCenterMaine.com. I'm News Center Maine meteorologist Jason Nappy, tracking the tropics and the latest on Franklin, a hurricane. And here, in quotes, a distant hurricane because it will be far away from Maine and most of the eastern coast. We'll talk about that in a second here. It'll still create deadly rip currents, and there is the storm on the satellite picture, by the way, north of the Turks and Caicos. And that's the storm heading up just to the west of Bermuda. Now, for safety, especially as we get close to the holiday week and weekend, you want to swim near a lifeguard as we get into really Wednesday, Thursday time frame. So here's the latest on the tropical satellite as of Sunday evening where I'm recording this. Hurricane Franklin churning in the Atlantic here. Once again, north of Turks and Caicos, that's the hurricane. Now we have Idalia. Now that's a tropical storm. Max sustained wind 40 miles an hour just east the Yucatan Peninsula. That's going to head up into the eastern Gulf, where there's a lot of warm water to work with there. We'll do Franklin first here. This is going to be Franklin. Here's the location. Wind 100 miles per hour. That's a Category 2 right now. Movement to the northwest, 8 miles an hour. As the track from the Hurricane Center puts it, a Category 4 major. Remember, 3 and up is a major. Here's a 4. West of Bermuda, that's this dot right here. And there's the hurricane Tuesday afternoon with at least 130 mile per hour sustained wind and higher gusts. I expect Bermuda to have impacts because you're on the eastern side of the storm. Remember, eastern side of a tropical cyclone gets the worst weather. Now notice how far it is from Portland, how far from Halifax, and also Sable Island. So Nova Scotia, Maine, missing out on this. Really, the East Coast misses out. However, even it's a Category 1 east of Boston and Cape Cod, you're going to have those waves going on here. So you're going to have 10 to 15 second large swells coming in, long duration swells, even though the wave heights aren't going to be that high. This is what I mean by a distant hurricane. It's pretty far away, but there will be rip currents up the entire East Coast and the entire Maine coastline, even though Cape Cod protects Maine a bit, especially from these wave heights into Tuesday night. So you're seeing anywhere from 5, 10, 15, or higher. Now, that is where the storm is located. Here's Bermuda, and there's the storm coming up right over Bermuda or just northwest of Bermuda, and that will be the swells that get sent to the East Coast right through Wednesday and Thursday. So that's one storm. Now let's talk about Idalia. Now, that thing sped through a bit, but I'll talk about it in a second here. A Category 2 storm, potentially a 3, with impacts over to the Big Bend area of Florida as a potential major. It could be just below or right at that. Means a lot of storm surge, a lot of wind, coastal flooding, urban flooding, and then getting back into the Atlantic as a tropical storm as it goes over Charleston and Savannah into really Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. This impact, this landfall would be sometime Tuesday night into early on Wednesday. More updates will be coming on that. Right now, it is just a tropical storm, but it will ramp up in the next 24 to 48 hours with landfall somewhere probably around the 52-hour mark from this recording on Sunday evening. I'll have more updates on my Facebook page, Twitter, and on my Instagram. Thank you for watching, and thank you for following on NewsCenterMaine.com.